Hey guys, we're back here in the studios. If you were here to watch the introductory, welcome back. And if this is your first time here on my channel, welcome. Appreciate you guys for broadcasting here live out of the Dallas Fort Worth studios. And this is Shop Talk with your local contractor. My name is Devin, aka Mr. D, and I'm your local contractor in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So I just want to say welcome to my channel. And also, if you have any questions on any of your projects, future projects coming up, put those comments down in the comment area so that I can answer those, use as content for one of my shows because it'll answer questions for many other people. So this is going to be a two-part series, and this is going to be before the real estate one, actually. This is going to be a two-part series, clearly on what to look for when you are hiring a contractor. Okay, so this is very important because when you're putting a project together, there's so many different things that you and your contractor and that contract need to be aligned with. There are so many failure projects because the person that hired the professional didn't know exactly what they wanted, as well as they weren't understood 100%, and the professional doing the work didn't understand everything as well. Things weren't clear because they weren't exactly 100% on a professional level where they were covering their rear in the diagram of what they need to write on the contract. And so you're not happy, they're not happy, it just didn't work out. And so there's so many failure projects. We talk about, oh yeah, I'm getting a kitchen remodel next week, but we don't talk about those bad kitchen remodels, things that didn't happen. It started, but it didn't happen. The day that they started and they got fired or they quit. That's not what we want. So there are so many things to know when you are hiring a contractor, but that's okay. That's why I'm here to be talking about this with you. And if you have any questions, we'll just go ahead and ask those questions. We'll put it down as content and we'll do another show about it so that you're asking questions for many other people that have the same questions. Again, I got to say that. So perfect. Okay, so this is going to be broken down into three different topics. And then the next show will be broken down into another three different topics. I like to watch my time, get into it, say what I got to say, move forward. If you have any questions on this, you can write it down or you can actually watch the video over again and it will have the same content and it will be good and informational for you as well. So with that said, let's just get right into it. So let's get it. All right, everybody. So thank you for being here. Let's just go ahead and let's get into those three topics. And I wanted to get into not a deep discussion, but just some key points so that you can get your mind thinking about things you need to do as a contractor when hiring a contractor and working on your project is very important because your project's important. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my cheat sheet over here. Things to look for when hiring a contractor. Again, things to look for when hiring a contractor. Very important. When you're hiring a contractor, the things you need to look for is how long have they been in the business? How many people do they have? How many projects are they working on? And how long are they going to take for them to finish your project? Now, the reason why I ask those questions is as a general contractor, I work with many subcontractors. Now, a lot of people say, well, the general contractor's not doing the work. The subs are doing the work. No, the general contractor's hired in representation of the owner because they are bringing in everyone from plumbing to electrical to the framing to the roofing, everything. They're tying it all in. And then on their liability, they're putting all that on them. They're managing the time. They're managing the project complete, fully. They see the things that need to get done. They see the issues foreseen. They address those and they have the deals all lined up. If there's any change orders, they will come forward and talk to the owner, but they will work at the deals too as well. Because anything that steps on that contractor's toes is going to step on their money and what they're going to make too as well on the project. So a general contractor has a lot of different hats. They wear a lot of different hats in these things. And to make it easy for you so you don't have to worry about that. All you do is pay that general contractor. The general contractor works for you, everybody else works for the general contractor. So that's very important. But what to know when you're hiring a contractor? Well, the reason why I ask those questions is I want to know how long you have been doing this because my project is important to me. So if this is your first year and you just wanted to do a career change, how much do you know about putting together specialty work or a bathroom remodel? Hey, this is going to cost me 20 grand. So I really want to know how long you've been doing this. And if you have pictures and references, those are things you want to ask for too as well. Another thing that I want to know is your experience in this is when you're working, how is your contract? Does your contract cover anything like bad workmanship, like later on, like 6 months down the road, a year down the road, like something has failed that you did, like it's bubbling up, it's coming off, adhesives or whatever. Maybe you don't warranty the project, but the work wasn't as good. And so will you come back and take care of that? I want to know that. Those are very important things that I want to know. And then the other thing that when I'm working with the contractor is I want to know how long it's going to take you. Okay, so I only want my house to be down, especially a bathroom. I want to know how long my bathroom is going to be down for. Even if I have another bathroom, it's still rerouting and changing things, the normal flow of my household. And so if you're living with your family and you have two bathrooms, maybe three, but let's say on average about two, I want to know how long you're going to take. Is it going to be a couple of weeks, a few months? Are you going to drag it out? There are contractors that will take a project and they will drag it out like dad and grandfather sucking down a beer once every other weekend and putting together an old 57 Chevy Classic and taking 3 years on that project. There are contractors that will do that. One, they're trying to do all these projects at once. So they want money down. Then they want to guarantee that they're going to get paid for their guys. And they're using the other project to pay their guys from the other project. So they're taking on another project and they're taking on another project. They don't say no. They got like 10 projects going on and all these projects started, but nothing finished. Okay, that's not what I want. I want a contractor that goes in, says what they're going to do. They under promise and they over deliver. They get it done and they do it right. They don't rush my project. They get it done correctly and they get it done in a timely manner, not rushing it, but in a timely manner. So those are very important. So when you're hiring a contractor, those are the questions that you want to ask your contractor. They're not offensive. Hey, slow it down. Watch this over again. And it will say the same thing so that you get those key points in that. And that is things to look for when hiring a contractor. Okay. You want to ask every contractor these. Those are things you want to ask every contractor. Second thing you want to ask a contractor, but this is more for you. I'm gonna say this is more for you. Have a strong picture of your end game. A strong picture of your end game. What I mean by that is know what you want 100%. Don't be just sold, but know what you want. Have that visual of what you want, so that way when it's getting done in the pursuit of getting done, you can look at it and say that's not how that's supposed to look. Nobody likes it, especially contractors when they're working with a client and they're like, oh yeah, it sounds good, everything's great, and then all of a sudden the project's finished, is complete. Oh, I didn't like the way that looked. Okay, well, I'm not happy with the work. Okay, well then they're not happy working for you and they don't want to work for you anymore, but then they want to get paid because of their time. Especially if the workmanship is good and you see it and you're like, oh, it wasn't like what I thought it was. You need to know and have it in your mind instilled of what the end game is going to look like. That means what that project is going to look like in the end. You have to have that whole thing set up in your mind, what it's going to look like. That way, in pursuit, when you're looking at it, you could say, hey, look, man, that's not what I wanted. And you could also explain it to that contractor the best you can. That way that contractor sees a picture of it and they could feel it. They could feel your energy and they could deliver that. So that's really important. Know your end game. If you could see that program at the end, in the beginning, before it starts, then you're going to know exactly what you want. And that's going to be someone that I want to work for, because you're not going to just get sold on something and let's test it out. Kind of like if you go into a tire shop that has one of those computer generated programs. I don't know if you've ever been to one and seen that, but I'll explain it to you, where it shows the model of your car. Then you can pick the color of it. So you can pick the color of your car possibly too as well. Then you can take the rim and tire that you want to put that's in their inventory and click it on that and actually see what your model car looks like in a CG form. And that's just like an AI type version. But then you can see what it looks like, and you can see what it looks like with those wheels and tires before you purchase them. So it's like, if you like my shirt and you're like, that's cool, but you put it on you, it may not look good on you. So you're like, oh, I thought it would look good, but it don't look good on you. So know your end game. That way you can call that out. That's very important. Okay, I want to get to this one real quick because I don't want to drag this on. Is the budget. This is the last one, okay? The budget. You want to have enough money in your budget for changing. So if there's an actual change order, if the project deviates in any way, that's like going into Burger King and you're about to order a meal. Like you got a value meal going on and you bring just enough change for that meal. Well, you barely may pay for that meal. But if you go in there with a few dollars over, you may get some extra fries and some onion rings. And hey, then they're going to go ahead and put that together for you. But you have extra for the change. There are going to be changes and deviations in the project. That's just always how it happens. It's like a wedding day. You picture yourself being married, but you don't see the changes before the wedding happens. So there's that wedding day blues. There's those things that happen. They always stay in a wedding day. Well, it's the same thing on game day for the construction project. It's the same exact thing. So make sure that you have exactly more than enough for that budget. Budget ahead of time for that change. It's very important. So those are the 3 key topics that I wanted to talk to you guys about. We're going to go ahead and start ending this segment so we can get on to the next one. But write those down. Those are very important. I didn't even need to say much. I didn't need to say much. Excuse me. Tongue twister. I didn't need to say much more than just that because now I got your mind spinning. You know what to do. You know what to look for. So now you know the questions to ask. And those are the questions that you need to ask when you talk to any contractor. That's going to be for many contractors that are out there. And when a contractor calls you, when you're looking for a contractor on these social media platforms like Angie's or anything else, you don't have to be rude to the contractor because you found a contractor. It's not good just to find 1 to 3 contractors, but you might want to find 5 to 7 contractors. That way, if you have an issue with your contractor, then you can call another one and move on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of contractors, when you meet them for the first time and you have your experience for the first time, you'll find out a lot of them don't show up on time. A lot of them don't do good work. A lot of the guys take long lunch breaks and they're not who they say they are. So you may have to go through several contractors before you find the right one. And that may be on a working interview. So the more you know, the merrier, the better for you. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it with that. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and end this segment. We're going to go on to part two. We're going to go on to part 2. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please put those in so I can use them as content for the next show. And be blessed. Till then, we'll see you next time.